Hello and welcome back to another Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord video. Today is going to be a little bit of a mix and match. We're going to be looking at some of the new screenshots that were released from that GameStar article. We're going to link on that for a little bit. Then we're going to talk about some of the things you may not have noticed from the end of the PC, I think it was a PC game or the Siege gameplay video, as well as how that's connected into some other things. And we're going to be going all the way back to the start of Bannerlord's development and taking a look at some of the really old screenshots. So hopefully this is going to be a little bit of the different video. It's going to be quite interesting. You'll see the two different ends of Bannerlord as we know it today. So we're going to begin with the new screenshots. Now, I think the first one, which you can see on screen now, with the, I think the winter season. Now, they go through the different seasons, and it's interesting, but it's not interesting enough for me. We can see how the trees change. We can see how the grass changes. I think it's a really nice element in the game, how we'll actually have that really realistic feeling of seasons changing and the map being very dynamic when we're moving around it, and time feels like it's actually going by rather than it just being the same kind of weather and everything all the time. So yeah, that's definitely one of the really nice things about these GameStar screenshots. We'll move down to another angle, I think this is, of these screenshots we saw from the PC Gamer article. We can see the Khuzaits firing down into, I think, I can't, maybe Valandians, you never know, really, I can't really see from here. Actually, I think down on the bottom left we can see one of the Aserai members. Now, I think this is an Aserai versus Khuzait battle, obviously with the horse archers, and then the guy in the bottom left looks like he's maybe got an Aserai helmet. It could be another faction, though. Again, interesting, but we've kind of seen this before, so not entirely interesting. And again, on this other screenshot, we have what looks like a Valandian cavalry member or a lancer actually missing the attack on this Khuzait horse archer. I presume it's a Khuzait. It looks like he's got the hunter horse there, and maybe these are the new horses that we're going to see. This is probably the previous version of the hunter, obviously, as Bannerlord goes back in time. Maybe this is a saddle horse, or it could be another type of horse that we haven't seen yet. So that's the new screenshots. It's interesting, but still not enough information for me. We're going to have to wait till E3 to get some really good new information. Now, moving on to this one thing that me and Slovak have been talking about, and that is right at the end of this GameStar video that we found, we can see a screenshot what seems to be a enemy companion. So obviously they've won the siege, they've had all the cheering guys, and then at the end it has this little bit of a cutscene, which was, I don't know if they were meant to show this, but we've kind of caught it right at the end of this video. So it says, "You are my prisoner now," and then you're free to go, and that's obviously what we saw in Warband. But the interesting thing is that this Liana person is not the lord of the castle, I assume. Now, if you go back a little bit into this video, we can see this scoreboard, and we can see different names on either side of the scoreboard, implying that the AI can actually have companions. So the AI lords can have companions, which is amazing. Going back on the point I made earlier, I think she could be a lord, but she's actually a lord that's garrisoned in that castle. For example, she was riding around as you do in Mountain Blade on the overworld map, and then she's just gone into the castle and has stayed there, and then the castle's been attacked. However, you can see that below her name you have Liana's party, and then below that you have loads of different names of different potentially companions, or they could be other lords of their own parties. I'm pretty sure, I'm 99% sure they're companions though. So basically, this implies that everything you can do with a companion in Bannerlord, an AI is also going to be able to do. So that could mean that an AI can make its companions lords, so it's going to be able to expand its own empire, especially if it's a minor faction within the Valandians, for example. He could actually expand his empire by making companions lords, and then they can go off and recruit. So we could actually see new emerging factions. That could be really interesting. That's probably how minor factions can take over the larger factions, as well as talking to, I don't know, lords inside that enemy faction and then persuading them to join in with the rebellion. That is just a really interesting point, and it links in quite heavily with the recent, I think it's the blog, Mountain Blade 2 developer blog 17, or no, it's 15, Valuable Relationships. So it's worth reading that through again. Now, lastly, we're going to take a look at some of the older Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord screenshots. Here we can see the intro screen where it has tutorial test scenes, which I guess is just kind of like blank maps, etc. You have the start a new game, multiplayer, resume game, custom battle, and then at the bottom, SF test. Again, this is just an old screenshot I think you might be interested in. It's pretty cool. If we move on to the next one, there is another, you can see the formation starting to begin. It still looks a bit weird. You can see the castle in the background looks a little bit like a warband castle, but the map in general does kind of look like a Bannerlord. This kind of looks like a mix between Mountain Blade Warband and Bannerlord. You can see the troops look very weird and very angular in these formations. I think they've made it just look a little bit more realistic now. So yeah, we're moving on to the last screenshot, and that is sort of one in a battle. Now, you've probably seen this one before. I thought this was like a faked warband one, but it's not. It's actually a Bannerlord one. So you can see here the guy has got a spear, and the battle's going on. There's a huge cavalry charge, I think we can see. And in the bottom left, we can see all like the mesh IDs and everything like that. So it's not a fully polished version. So I just thought this would be something that you guys might be interested in. Before you go, I'd like to thank Slovak for helping me out with this video. Make sure to go down in the description and you can find the link to the unofficial Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord Steam group. He keeps you up to date with all the Bannerlord information you could possibly need a lot quicker than I can get it out to you, because obviously my upload speed is rubbish. So it's always a good idea to go ahead and check out that group. It has like 30,000 members or something. I think that's pretty much all I've got for this Bannerlord video for today. I was going to make one on that extended GameStar article, but I don't want to buy the subscription as I currently don't have a lot of money. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.